Welcome back, YouTube. This is episode 21, and we have been off for a while. We just moved into a new place with a roommate, and we are back to our normal recording schedule. So welcome back, and let's get started. Last time we left off, we had talked to Riza, and she had wanted us to pick up a package. So let's go ahead and take a look at that and do that quest. Okay. So it looks like Hatmandor Purelins is where we need to go. Alright, let's see here now where. Should be out that way. Yeah. Should be some barns over here too.
There always seems to be a few more to kill.
Wow. Yeah. These guys don't have a lot of hit points anymore.
Good.
Or I just do a ton of damage, I guess. It's probably more accurate. Boy, we need to sell, don't we? We have a lot of junk on us. A lot of junk in our trunk. Oh, that's nice. We like that. That was almost worth stopping. Love me them barn hearts. Should be over here.
What
Yep.
lies beneath the tower?
It's what you want to know?
It was the last mistake you made, pal.
Really?
Yeah. Ha!
I don't know if she ever told us. Again, that was a long time ago, so
What's this?
can't blame me for not remembering. That looks complicated. Make sure we stop and sell while we're at Basil.
I see you found the place.
Whoops.
Riza,
What happened to the guard?
I forgot the password.
I've got a message from Basil.
It couldn't wait?
We're being watched. He wants you to deliver the package to the client directly.
Who's the buyer?
A local priest. Apparently word travels fast. He wants the deal finished while the attention's only focused on Basil.
One would imagine.
You'll find him in the temple in Hatmandor.
Yeah, how do
Getting
you get
inside
in
will
there?
take a bit of creativity. Lakes aren't allowed on temple grounds.
Lakes.
In his words, godless swine.
Right. Any ideas on how to get to him?
I'm a musician, not a soldier. But if I were you, I'd try the Eastern Wall.
So much for creativity.
Alright, thanks, kid.
Don't miss out on this limited
Oh,
opportunity
hey,
to
let's
take advantage. Greetings, sir. Greetings and salutations.
greetings and, salutations. Probably should have been breaking these all down. Hobnob Nail Club. A few bows here.
Much thanks. And don't forget to tell your friends where they can find the best deals in all of Antal.
You can find the best meat in all of Hatmandor.
Yet another man seeking more value for his aura. How can I
Oh, that was easy. Find the entrance. Or you can meet us here.
What? Who's there? I'm simply making a delivery. I see you received my message. We did. I've heard the city guard is becoming a threat. That they may be getting information from someone valuable. You understand, I can't afford to be implicated. A man in my position has his reputation to consider. I'm simply a messenger. Of course. You have it then. Here. Oh, thank the gods. And though I may not agree with your methods, you're doing their work.
Right.
I'm sure. Waiting in shadows, speaking in hushed tones. I wouldn't wish this life on anyone. It's never a choice, is it? I'd imagine not. Remember, we never spoke. Of course.
Drugs delivered. I mean, ceremonial incense. Yeah. So that he can talk to the gods. Why run through town when I can just walk there?
Excuse me.
It's done.
Racer was able to find you then? No one saw you? You weren't followed?
No.
Good. I apologize for my tone earlier. It appears as if you've done everything I've asked. I believe it's now my turn to indulge you. You had some interesting questions.
I'd like to know about the murders.
There's quite a bit of pressure being placed on our organisation. At first, it was the city guard, a concern that's never prevented us from operating in the past. But these murders, they're too clean, too quick. They've been targeting our Veritas supply chain, the medicine. The only thing we know for certain is that the victims used to work for Turs Darum.
Turs Darum.
They may have worked for us, but it wasn't always that way. Darum was the old guard, the full Mirage. He didn't go quietly.
I'd imagine not.
It was a different time then. Such transitions are never smooth. Those who were loyal were executed, including family.
Sounds like Mirage missed someone.
Apparently. But it's only one of many problems.
The city guard.
Valerian's gotten ambitious. Sloppy even. It's become obvious that he's managed to gain information from someone within our organization. At first,
Oh.
all signs pointed to you.
I think Jared's in trouble.
Strangers with too many questions are not usually alive long enough to prove themselves so useful. Luckily, we think we found our problem.
I want to know about the Tower of Fangs.
While you've earned your answers, your questions are quite concerning. If you plan on living long enough to act on such information, you'll need to do something that benefits both of us. People have grown quite paranoid. They want you dead for nothing more than peace of mind. Well, I can't blame them. Taking care of this problem yourself is beneficial to everyone.
I take it this problem has a name.
Jared.
Yep.
You think he's working for Valerian?
Sometimes it's easier to remove a question than to find an answer.
I understand.
Speak with Yersk. He'll tell you what you need to know.
Consider it done.
Poor Jared.
You again. I hear they've been keeping you busy.
Yersk, how are you?
Much better, thanks.
Basil says you might be able to help me solve a problem.
He's staying with his mother. Southwest side of Shaznadar.
I'll handle it from here.
Really? Nothing else I can help you with?
What can you tell me about him?
Speaking about the soon-to-be recently departed is a little too morbid for my taste. In my experience, it's best practice not to know.
Thanks, Yersk. I'll see you soon.
I'm sure you will.
Right. Sorry, Jared. What is Arrested doing there? Seems odd.
Goods fit for an emperor, with prices all.
Don't do it.
What?
Don't kill him.
Any reason in particular?
I think you know why.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think you do. How far do you really plan to take this?
As far as I have to. None of this matters. Mirage, Basil, Jared. I don't expect you to understand. But I'm here for something much more important.
Then convince him to leave the city. Tell Basil you've done your job.
I'll think about it. Jared,
Oh, it's you. A little ironic, isn't it?
you knew they were coming?
Well, not today. Paranoia is like a wildfire in these circles. All it takes is a whisper.
Basil said the same thing.
I bet. You were fetching medicine for sickly mothers a couple days ago. Valerian's got you by both balls, doesn't he?
Jared,
Look, I understand. If I hadn't lost my nerve, I'd probably be at some other poor bastard's doorstep giving him the same somber speech. For what it's worth, I hope you find it.
Find what?
Whatever's worth all of this. Whatever's worth killing for. I thought it was my mother. Couldn't imagine anything more important. But apparently you can.
Go. Get out.
What?
Take her. Disappear. No friends, new names. You vanish completely. You've never even been to Hatmandor.
I don't know what to say. Mother! Grab a coat! We're going out!
Hey.
That one was complicated. Probably nothing good though. Lamb City.
New shipment just arrived from aspiring young craftsmen. Don't get left
Which Basil doesn't know. Basil doesn't know. Capiche? Do something with those traps at some point.
My mistake.
So, it's done then.
And the mother. As far as anyone will be able to tell, they left town during the night.
Well,
Clever.
aren't you a creative little prick? Mirage has taken quite an interest in you.
I thought no one sees him.
They don't. He communicates through a single agent. They call him Tongue, fittingly enough.
How can I find him?
Don't get ahead of yourself. I only brought you here to fulfill our arrangement. I simply thought you'd be interested to know what impact your actions have had as of late.
The captain. Where can I find him?
Such information isn't so simple to acquire, even for myself. All I can do is give you his name. Falinan Neiman.
No wonder everyone calls him the captain.
It's not exactly native to this region, though neither is he. He owned a slaughterhouse in Chesnadar nearly a decade ago. When the Imperials began repurposing land without compensation, he fought back. They attempted to arrest him. He killed 3 guards with his bare hands. He's been recruiting men ever since. Just enough to mess with the status quo. Their so-called guerrilla tactics usually end up leaving us with more problems. They destroy shipments we plan to steal, kill guards we pay to walk away. But I have to ask, what's your interest in them?
It's personal.
A vendetta, then? I know the look. Couldn't stop you if I wanted to.
What can you tell me about the Tower of Fangs?
I can tell you that even talking about it has brought about the death of more powerful men than either of us. Some say he's
Pussy.
protected by Gandahar himself. I know you have a death wish. But some things are worse than death. Rumours say that Captain is the only one ever to go inside. Then again, rumours also say he rides a horse made of crystal.
I wonder if it's called Butt Stallion.
Can you tell me about Risa?
I see that my newest pearl got herself a new admirer. She came here a few weeks ago looking for work. When she came into my office, I just couldn't refuse, if you know what I mean. I could have arranged a meeting with her in a quiet place, but I don't think you have that kind of money.
I appreciate it.
Likewise. Before you go,
Sorry, Basil, but
relax. It's simply an open offer.
what kind of offer?
I arrange fights from time to time. You know, to entertain the locals. If you ever find yourself in need of extra orders,
I'm listening.
the fights take place at the pit, the arena where the Brotherhood used to train. Speak with a rum. Give him the phrase, "You can swallow a pot of blood before you get sick." He'll know that I sent you.
Nice.
I thought you'd be taller.
I'm sorry.
Forgive my manners. They call me Tongue. Perhaps you've heard of me. Knowing who you are, however, is what I'm paid for.
I know who you are.
I've heard you've been asking about the Tower of Fangs. Quite carelessly, I might add. But if you'd like a more definitive answer to such an ambiguous question, I'd advise you to follow me.
Okay. Meeting with Mirage, maybe? Or a trap. I do like his armor. That's pretty sweet armor. It's probably a trap.
Huh.
After you.
Oh yeah, how is this not a trap?
I must apologize for this perceived dishonesty.
Open the gate. Now.
Not yet. I'm afraid I cannot ask you to perform the task at hand without knowing you are competent enough to complete it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Mr. Mirage offers you information about the whereabouts of one Captain, who, as you probably already know, is the only one to return from the tower alive.
And what does Mr. Mirage want in return?
Nothing for the moment. Mr. Mirage offers this information as a sign of good faith.
Why the trap, then?
It's nothing personal, I assure you. Mr. Mirage is very ritualistic when it pertains to hiring new people. Do you still wish to learn where to find the captain?
Yes.
Then you'll find him with his party in seclusion south of here. Less than a mile to be more precise. He's built a camp within a small village there. I recommend inquiring about the specifics with the rebels in the area. Now, back to business. Gentlemen, you may begin. Good luck.
Don't say I didn't warn you. That's rich.
Level 19.
Better be worth it.
So, payout right there. Can you match it? Oh, he doubled it. That's pretty
Quite
rich.
impressive. There's a slight theatricality to your methods.
What kind of test was this?
The kind you live to complain about, apparently.
Ah!
Which leaves me with the pleasure of announcing that Mr. Mirage would like to make you an offer.
What if I'm not interested?
While your hesitance might be considered measurably understandable,
This guy's
suggesting
quite
that Mr. Mirage isn't the type of person one should consider
eloquent.
refusing
Eloquent?
seems in
Eloquent.
order.
What's the offer?
You've made several inquiries into a series of murders that recently took place.
I have.
Then it's safe to assume you know that 8 years ago, Mr. Mirage inherited control of Hatmandor's underground.
Inherited.
He cut his way to the top.
In a manner of speaking. Before Mr. Mirage received his inheritance, he was forced to remove Tors Daram, his predecessor. Several of his followers, however, refused to cooperate.
I heard. He had them killed. Their families as well.
After we cleansed Daram's residence, Mr. Mirage later discovered a stone left unturned. A boy. A son.
He wasn't accounted for.
Someone was silenced in his stead. Daram's nephew. The resemblance was striking, so close in fact that by the time we discovered our error, Daram's heir was nowhere to be found.
And now you think that he's...
Yes, this is Mr. Mirage's assumption.
And you want me to...
To correct this error, naturally.
And in return?
Money, of course. It's worth noting that the good faith he's shown thus far is extended to relevant financial matters as well. Furthermore, if you succeed, our interest in your services may prove to become much more consistent.
I'll do it.
Good. You should begin with Zask, the only remaining Daram loyalist left by both our target and our employer.
Why was he spared?
Mr. Mirage wisely assumed that if Daram's son returned to the city, he'd contact Zask. He's been monitored ever since, yet our assumption now seems flawed.
Then why bother?
We're simply interested in knowing if we missed something, so it is part of your task to discover this before our situation escalates. This is espionage, not an interrogation. Convince him to trust you. He owns a small workshop in Chesnadar. I pray that Basil hasn't overestimated your skill set regarding this matter. Best of luck.
It seems I have work to do.
It seems you do indeed.
Hey, you. The commander told me to give you these keys.
Keys?
Yeah, keys to the gates. We cut off several parts of the desert because of the Varn infestation. Unfortunately, they've taken control of some of our outposts. Now anyone crazy enough to wander the desert needs these keys. Not to mention a big stick. Here.
Alright, folks, I think that's going to be it for this episode. Stick around, and we'll be back with another episode very soon. Smash that like button and subscribe.